Welcome back to Rebel Driver's Garage. This is Scott again. This is our second video of our trip from October when we went to Great Bend, Kansas to Nobody Else's Auto Salvage. The first video we covered about a quarter of the place, and this video we're going to try to cover in a little bit more. Okay, so this is our third time being to Nobody Else's Auto Salvage. The first time I ever went to was probably 2018 when on Rocky Mountain Race Week, when Chad Erlich, the owner, let us in. It was a checkpoint. The salvage yard was a checkpoint for Rocky Mountain Race Week in 2018, and that was when we first got to wander around and went, oh my word. Then I was there last year, down there buying stuff. I spent so much time taking parts off for my 65 Impala that I didn't really have time to actually do much filming, about 45 minutes of filming. So this time in October, I went back, and all I was going to do was film. That's right, I was going to film just to show you guys what was there. And this is what we did. By the way, I drove my 1965 Impala SS down to Great Bend, which was about 4 hours in each direction. As you can see, it has become a shelf for my El Camino, which one of my videos out right now I just put up last week is the El Camino, turning this back into a daily driver. But my poor Impala, if I still up driving it for a week, this is what happens to it. This is horrible. Well, let's get to the junkyard. In the weeds here is a Henry J. And these became really popular because they're really, really light. This is like the first economy car that come out in the early 50s, 51 maybe. And they have a little 4-cylinder. Actually, this is a 6-cylinder. Some of these were 4 cylinders. What does it say on that engine? Supersonic. Okay, so this was the supersonic 6-cylinder, so this was like the hot rod version. Because they also had 4 cylinders in this era, in Henry J's. Check what somebody else did to this thing. I am not sure what the purpose of this was. They put a piece of water pipe between the fence. That is not stock. I don't know why somebody would do that. Maybe to hang their clothes on them while they're driving down the road. I don't know. And there's also a little unique thing about the back windows here is that not only are they curved, but they also have this little eyebrow detail on them. Stuff that they thought about back then that they would never do today. There's a Dodge Polara Brome. I guess Brome means it had a vinyl top on it. 4-door sedan. Oh, it's got the split bent seat here. It looks like bucket seats from behind, but it's got the armrest in between them. That's pretty cool. These Dodge Polaras could have everything from a slant 6 all the way up to 440 in them. They're really popular for the cop cars. I think we can get the hood open to see if it's got a big block in it. Hang on. Oh yes, look at that. 440 or 383, I can't tell. With air conditioning. This was a monster back in the day. Get this car painted up to look like a cop car. California Highway Patrol loved their 71, 72 Polaras. 69 Polaras too. They, with a 440 Magnum in them, they got up and went. California Highway Patrol, there's a unique thing about California Highway Patrol cars, is because California had a lot of, they have, in the desert regions, it gets hot. So like if they're in the Baker or Barstow department back then, they didn't like black steering wheels. So they would have uniquely white steering wheels in that era. And instead of black. Keep them hands from being burned when you're driving around 117 degree temperatures in July in the Barstow area in Baker. Hudson. Let's look at a Hudson Jet. Yeah, Hudson Superjet. This was a two-door. Hudson Superjets were known for having two dual carbureted straight six engines in them. And they're kind of unique. Now they didn't have the same big 304 cubic inch that the Hudson Hornets had. It was much smaller, but they still had what looked like a twin H power in them. Well, this one has all that missing. But that's a rare car, Hudson Superjet. Imagine it was a pretty sporty little car for the era with twin carb street banger in it. Here's a little Rambler next to a Ford panel wagon. It's got like camper windows in it and a wild paint job for the era. I don't know if there was any camping going on. There might have been camping going on in this or somebody's hunting rig. That looks like a Plymouth two-door sedan. Oops. Yeah, 39 Plymouth. This might be a business coupe. I looked at one of these before. And the way you can tell is that there's an opening. See, doesn't have a back seat in it at all, and the trunk, the package tray extends farther into the interior, and then they had this big opening here which you could get to the front of the trunk and get stuff out, and then they had like a leather cover over it that draped over the top from the package tray. So this is a business coupe. An absolutely enormous trunk on these. Surprised the moonshiners, look like this one's shot up too. But I'm surprised the moonshiners didn't like these as much as they did the flathead Fords. Probably because the flathead Fords would outrun these any day of the week. Here's a four-door hardtop 57 Chevy. Front of it's a Plymouth Sport Fury 66 or 7. 64 Ford. This was a stripped down version. It's a 500, Ford 500, or just a plain Galaxy, because it has no. It's a Ford 500 because it has no side trimming on it at all. And can't open it. 3 on the tree, it appears. Yes. Plain interior. In these Galaxies had 2-tone interiors for the most part. And oh yeah, here I wanted to show you. See how this one does not have a backup light in it. Well, somebody added one over there. Looks like it's super glued in, but this one is not a backup light. It's a car, and the switch would be on the shifter linkage on front of the firewall. If it had one. 55 Chevy 4-door sedan. Here's another one. That was a Bel Air. That one's like probably a 210. I'm going to backtrack over here a little bit. Hang on. 68 Impala 4-door sedan with a 327 at one time. Look how flat that hood is. You could land a Chinook helicopter on that. I wanted to see these over here in the ditch. There's a Pinto, a Corvair, and two more Vegas. A Vega wagon with a roof rack and a Vega hatchback. These are the later ones because they have like a slope nose and a big bumper. So these are like 76, 77 era with that slope nose. Maybe 75 too. This is an earlier Pinto with a smaller bumper. And I think these were a lot cuter than the later ones. And it didn't blow up. Because it never got rear-ended apparently. Ooh. I like that cowl and front fenders. Oh, I'd love to have all that. That's pretty cool. Look at this. This is like an early 50s Plymouth Suburban wagon. Two-door wagon, too. Something you do not see every day. Sliding back windows, apparently. It's almost complete except for the rear fenders. Wow. Full of air cleaners. Anybody need a 2-barrel air cleaner? They're all in the station wagon here. That's neat. You don't see those every day. Ooh, a Dodge Coronet. Looks like a 57. It's got fins on it. I like this wraparound. Check out this wraparound trim on the hood with the bullets. What is this? Shoved in here. What is this? It's like a Fiat? Wait, oh, wait a minute. You see this here? Doesn't that mean it's a Chrysler product? What is this? Air-cooled rear engine. Don Schmid, Wichita, Kansas. Okay, if you know what this is, speak up, because I don't. I'm going to go around the other side of it. This is a 63 Galaxy here. Looks like it's got a flat FE big block in it. Let's go around the front of that little micro car. Oh, it's a Simca GLS. I've seen one of these before. A Simca GLS 4-door sedan. I've heard of Simcas, but I have no idea where they were made or who made them and how long they made them. If you do, comment, please. Look at this. 67 Mustang coupe. So yeah, 67, 8, I don't know, Galaxy 500 4-door sedan. That's a nice little Falcon 2-door post car. That's a pretty nice car. It's missing a front clip, but the Falcon sedans are all the same. Check out this Lincoln Continental. I want to talk about a tank. Look at that front bumper. I almost walked by this. Look at this. This is like a Mercury Montclair convertible or Monterey convertible. Wow. You do not see these. They usually are rotted into the earth. Still has the white convertible top motor. Looks like the tail light housings are still here. Dash is all here. It is missing the back seat. Look at this wild trim that they had on the fenders back then. Isn't that cool? This is a 65, I believe. Not positive. Let's see. Let's have a Oh, has the Mel FE engine. It says Mercury on it, but I think it's an FE engine by this era. Here we are. There's some more Fords over here. This is a obviously a 68 Mustang coupe. And a 69, or no, wait a minute, that's a 70 coupe as well. Some of these were Legrands. Legrand coupe. Yep, Grand coupe. Now, don't ask me what the hell that meant. It's typical of a Mustang in this era. It doesn't have any floors in it. Still has an engine in it. Looks like a V8. And it looks like a Cleveland. It looks like a Cleveland in there. Was that a Cleveland in there? Oh, I don't know. Let's see. It's got the trunk lid on it. No hood, but a trunk lid. Hang on. Yep, it has a 351 two-barrel Cleveland in this thing. Isn't that amazing? There's a neat little early Falcon wagon. My dad had one of these. He got going bankrupt trying to keep an MGA running as a lieutenant in the Air Force. And I ended up buying one of these new and get rid of it. Here's another one. Here's a nice little coupe. So I'm going to go over here into these Fords a little bit. I don't think I got into these Fords last time. These are some 50s Fords. Look at this. So this one has a Y block in it. And you can tell when a Y block is factory single exhaust because it has the exhaust manifolds set up for a cross pipe that went across the engine to the other exhaust manifold. So this is probably a 272, maybe a 292. It's got a single barrel carburetor on it, so it's probably 272. There were solid lifter cams in this era. So the Y blocks are really kind of fascinating how they have over and under exhaust intake ports. Look at this. This is a 55, I believe. Coupe. This is a Crown Vic. Looks like it might be a Crown Vic by the lettering used to be here. It's got bucket seats out of something else. This would be good for a project car. Grill in there from something else. What we got over here? It's like a 53 or 4 coupe. There's a Mercury. Another Mercury or a Lincoln, I'm not positive. Look at this. Yeah, these are Mercuries. Look at the Mercury taillights that are on them. Yeah, those are big Mercury taillights on these. You can actually put these on a Ford of the same year. I know somebody that has. That's a nice one. Nice. This car was probably gorgeous when it was new. Black and yellow. Really pretty car. You can see the air intake here on the cowl that probably sucked air in off the grill for a heater or air conditioner. Most likely just for the heater because air conditioning was super rare in this era. Look at the speedometer on that. That's pretty neat. Big, huge trunks in that era. It's echoing. Hello! That's pretty cool. Another one, here's a 4-door. Some really cool trim that they had back in this era. I mean, look at all the stainless around the roof rail. Back here on the back door, over the back. Now, depending on how high level of a Mercury you got, it made a difference on how much of that you got. This is, oh, this is a, is it a Ford? It's not a Ford. It says, looks like, I don't know what the heck that says. But anyway. Dashboard's gone pretty much. Here's a 57 Ford. Or is this a Mercury? It's got another Y block in it. Though it looks bigger, so it might be a Mel. Is this a Mercury? All this trim on here, it kind of tells me it might be a Mercury. The body shape is very similar to the 57 Ford. There's nothing left to tell me. It's got 4 hubcaps in it. Oh, here's like a 52. I think it's a 52 Ford coupe. I kind of like these. 52, 53, 54. Kind of neat. Like somebody put bucket seats from the 70s in there. They almost look like Camaro seats. And they did some crazy welding underneath there to make them work. So this was somebody's hot rod of some sort. Cruiser. Ah, the Malays there, Thunderbird. Gutless turds. Now, I just learned that these vents here are actually functional. I thought they were just... Look, there's a hole back there. You actually get the hot air out of from under the hood. Another Galaxy here. Galaxy 500. Looks like to be a 68. Look back here. Oh, we're getting into the GMs back here. 61 Pontiac wagon. Oh, let's look at this Le Mans. That's a Tempest, and it has the overhead cam 6-cylinder. It still has the whole thing in here. Overhead cam. Shaft straight 6. Aluminum timing belt cover, aluminum valve cover. This is John DeLorean's idea. Same John DeLorean that came up with the GTO came up with this idea. This is cool. And it's a complete engine too. Wow. I think they made 2 different displacements of this. I'm not positive. And they had 1-barrel versions, and I think they had a 2-barrel version of it. Could be wrong. Could be another 4-barrel version. I'm not positive, but anyway, there's 2 different versions of these for sure, because I have a friend who has both. And that is really fully complete. That is really nice. Close that back up so it doesn't get damaged. There we go. Looks like is it a 3 on the tree? Oh, I can't get the door open. Oh, look, it's right there on the seat. The superior axle grease. Oh, there's more old cans in it. Wow. Cool. 67 Grand Prix. Hideaway headlights. And the turn signals were in the fender extensions. Isn't that cool? That's one of the coolest Pontiac front ends ever. 2-door hardtop. So these had bucket seats and console. Look at the bucket seats in this. They're still in here. They're really nice. See, there's a console. He's got a roof wired to it, so I'm not going to try to open the doors. The seats look really good. Oh my God. Those bucket seats are immaculate. Wow. That's nice. I think he's got all these bumpers lined on the hood so it doesn't blow open. Yeah, he does that out of several of these out here because the wind is pretty strong out here. We can get storms in Kansas that have winds that are in the 80-mile-an-hour range. There's an El Camino from the G-body era. Looks like it has bucket seats in it. Yeah, factory bucket seats and console. Look at that. Something you don't see every day. In a G-body, these are usually bench seat cars. And this is a GMC Caballero. Not a Chevrolet. Pretty cool. Look at the front end on this Pontiac. You can tell John DeLorean was really into making these look really cool. Isn't that wild? So aggressive. This looks like another Grand Prix here. And more. 4 doors. So that might be a Catalina. So 4 doors. 4 doors. 69 or 70 going on here. Look at these front ends. See, this one's air is not as good, I don't think. Though a lot of these Bonnevilles here had 428 Pontiacs in them. Good engines, those 428s. Underappreciated. There's 65 Impala. This is a car I got last time. This is the one I got my fender off of. Talk about the hard day's work doing that. Here's another 65 Impala 4-door sedan. Well, this might be a Bel Air. Yeah, it's a Bel Air. Another 65. You tell Bel Airs only have one taillight on the trunk lid. And Biscaynes. This is a Bel Air. Now, how do you tell the difference between a Bel Air and a Biscayne taillight? Well, Biscayne won't have this trim on it. Impala will have the chrome bullet in it. So this is a Bel Air for sure. Look what somebody did to this car. Oh my God. There's a gas tank in the trunk of this Impala. Oh, okay, here's a 65 Impala bullet. See that? How it's got a silver bullet in it? I'm sorry, distraction. Somebody put some, I don't know what gas tank's in this damn thing, but damn. That's farmer fix. It's like Manweiler, Chevrolet, and Hoisington. Hoisington's right up the road here, about 6 miles. There's a 70 Impala coupe. Looks like it had air conditioning. Disc brakes were an option in this era, and they were hard to find. Yeah, this one's got discs. The rotors on these are nearly impossible to find now. Yep, it's an Impala, not a Caprice. Gold, white top, green interior. Oh, anniversary gold, white top, dark green interior. Oh, I bet you the owner of this car was like driving around in a mint green polyester leisure suit. Oh, it's a 69 Impala custom coupe. Now you can tell the custom coupes, they don't have they're not really a fastback though. They weren't really sloped like a 65 or 6, and it's concave. See how it's got a concave back window there. But this 69 was black originally, and look what's on the fender, 396. Now obviously somebody pulled the 396 to probably stick in their Camaro back in the day, but wow. So it was black with white interior, or parchment interior, it looks like. This one was a bit of a hot rod. Had air conditioning. It's an AM/FM cassette. I can't tell from here if it's original or not. I don't think it'd have a cassette deck in 69. Cassettes weren't invented yet. It'd be black. AM/FM cassette deck in 69 was very expensive. And he had a trailer hitch on it. So obviously he got the 396 to tow something with. Yeah, a couple of 63 Impalas, 64 Impala. There's a Buick Riviera over here. You want to go see that? Let's go see that. 64 Bel Air wagon. Couple of wild Buick Wildcats. Look at this. That's pretty wild. Buick Riviera. These were really cool cars back in the day. They're really hard to find in any decent shape at all. Still has a key in the door. Somebody gutted the interior out of it. It looks like even the passenger had power seats. Ooh, somebody primed the rear bumper too. Oh man. So it looks like it was like some sort of dark turquoise color. Like that. Chevrolet probably called it Tahitian turquoise and that. And then they primed it in that yellow primer and they primed the bumpers. Here's one that isn't primed. Oh, excuse me, another one. Another Rivi. It looks like they were customized with French headlight antenna. Now they had a Buick in this era. They had a Buick Riviera Grand Sport. Now the difference was the Grand Sports had, see how it's got this set up here, this fender extension. Well, the Grand Sport had the headlights in here with clamshells that opened and closed it. And it doesn't look like this one had it. This one over here is not a Grand Sport, obviously, because it still has the headlight buckets in the middle. See how that goes? And that looks like another Riviera header panel there, or radiator support here. And it looks like it's one piece with the inner fenders. Oh, that doesn't look like fun. That is a nail head, 401 nail head. They also had 425 nail heads in this era. And single 4-barrel. It's like a Carter version. It looks like an Edelbrock because the Edelbrock carburetor looks a lot like this. But Carter made carburetors like this before Edelbrock did. So some more Buicks back here. Some later Rivieras when they got bigger and, in my opinion, uglier. Ooh, that one's got a black and yellow California license plate on it. Look at that. That's cool. Just a random Dodge truck sitting out here. Looks like you could pick it up and drive it. Oh, here we go. This is something unique to Buicks. The finned aluminum brake drum. Now there's an iron liner in it, but the drum is finned and it's aluminum. This has actually cooled it down at a huge, I think these are 12-inch brakes, and they stopped incredibly well. These were really popular with hot rodders in the 60s. You don't see a lot of them left in salvage yards anymore. Sky blue Riviera with white interior. And a 80s Chevy steering wheel. '73 to '75 Monte Carlo. This one had the factory 15x7 rallies on it, and dual sport mirrors, and it also had bucket seats and console. So these had the swivel bucket seats in it. Power windows. Ooh, this one was tricked out. That was like the epitome of the Monte Carlo back then. There's a G-body wagon there. Check that out. A Monte Carlo SS over here with like somebody's backyard paint job on it. Probably somebody's hot rod on its 19th owner. There's a bench seat car. You can see it's got a column shift next to that ugly GT wheel. Oh, here's a 68 Impala. It's a custom coupe or fastback. Oh, 327 emblems on the fenders. Oh, it's a Caprice. Interesting. A Pontiac 75 or 6. Can't tell what it says back here. Oh, Le Mans Sport Coupe. It's got the fancy Sprite package on it, which you can get in a lot of GM cars back in the 70s. Growing up, my next door neighbor had a Grand Prix exactly like this. Two-tone, ugly green. We got like mint pistachio green and puke green, piss green, pea green metallic with green velour and gold accent interior. That doesn't want to make you throw up. I don't know what. Ugh. Not by the 80s, people got over this. Snot green, turd brown, puke yellow. Then again, they wore ugly clothes in the 70s too. Check out the 64 Bel Air wagon here. This is kind of unique. A lot of these got ripped off or torn off or taken off over the years. This is actually a factory option. And what this did is the air came around the side of it and it deflected on the back window. Now what happens is when you drive a station wagon, the air comes out from underneath the back of the truck, the station wagon, and it goes like this, and it swirls. Oops, my finger's in the way. The lens. It swirls like this, and it basically gets your back window dirty very, very quickly. These on both sides would deflect air across there to help keep that back window cleaner longer. Now, if you had a roof rack, you wouldn't have those. Roof racks, well, maybe. It depends on the year of the car, but roof racks often had a blade back here that did the same thing, acted like a spoiler, just directed air over the back window. And I'm sure they're terrible for aerodynamics and gas mileage, but if you don't like cleaning your back window, those are really helpful. I like this. Guy Patterson and Sons in Roselle, Kansas. And a Chevrolet C80 Spartan. Got air horns on the roof, clearance lights. That is cool. Look at this Joe Calloway Golf. That's really cool. I shot all this area here previously where all the Chevelles and GTOs and stuff, and up in here on my last video, but I wanted to take a look at this. This is somebody's hot rod. It's a 75, 76 Nova Custom. Obviously it's an X body, but this one is super rare. It's been sitting a while, but why is it rare? When have you seen a factory 4-speed and an X body? And of course it comes with mouse poop. Oof. That reeks. But I'm dying to see what he's got under the hood. He says it's a V8. So let's check it out. So under the hood and under what appears to be a raccoon nest and raccoon poop is a small block Chevy, complete with the Holley carburetor, HEI distributor, fancy plug wires that have been eaten by the mice, and an aluminum intake manifold of some kind. I am not touching that to find out what kind. Non-powered disc brakes on it, or are they drum still? I'll have to get underneath the car and look. But it does have power steering. It doesn't have headers, but it does have dual exhaust on it. This could be a really cool hot rod. I mean, a 4-speed 75 Nova. Wow. Oh, look at that. Looks like a beaver was building a dam in there or something. So it's like October, And it's still mid-80s in Kansas and in Nebraska too. It's crazy. I take the good weather, but I'm kind of hot. Oh, there's the man over there talking to himself. He's filming. Shh, he's filming. Edsel. So there's plenty of Edsels in the yard if you're looking for something. Need some stuff for an Edsel. That's a Pacer. And this one has the push button on the steering column too. Look at that. Still has the AM radio in it too. Complete dashboard. Almost. Yeah. Look at the dashboard. Look at that dome for the speedometer. Isn't that cool? One of these, you pull it out as a unit and you stick it in like a street rod of some sort. Wouldn't that be cool? Mustang 2. This looks like a 4-cylinder stripped down version. Ooh, I like these. Check this out. Ford van. Flat front. Most of these had 6-cylinders. Some of them had 302s. Next to a Pontiac, 55 Pontiac 4-door sedan. Next to a Dodge convertible. Ooh. Hello. And, okay, I'm a liar again. There's some late model Lincoln Town Cars and Fords in here. Not that you care, right? You don't care. You don't care, do you, if there's late model Lincoln Town Cars in here? No? Well, not really late model. Those are like 30 years old now, but hey, they're newer. All right, I wanted to show you guys this. Look at this custom van. It's been gutted, so there's no water bed or anything in it. Still has the Western turbine wheels on it. It's got a sunroof on it. But this is a wild mural. Somebody's vision. Look at this. This is amazing. I'm just going to get a nice slow video of this. Isn't this crazy? There's the people that painted it. Right there. Wow. Here's a ship, waves, rainbow going into what, a cowboy hat and a Poseidon? Anyway, I don't know what they were on when they painted this. There's like some sort of sea nymph with a wizard. That is wild. Of course, it's got a, with that kind of mural, it does have a bumper that says hallucinations. Yeah. Because maybe they just painted what they hallucinated after some mushrooms and bad acid at a Grateful Dead concert. Check this out. This is a stripped down 72 Ford Torino. I think this is the second lowest level one you can get because it does have a 302 in it. But it's a 3-speed on the column one. That's pretty cool. There's another one over here I want to take out. Same era. Hang on one second. Here's a 73 that was looks like it was once snot green. And somebody put an orange hood and fenders and then primed it. Thank God they primed it because damn. Oh, look, it had. So we painted the calipers red. Ooh. And it's a bucket seat console car. And I can't get the door open. Dan Staley, Joplin, Missouri. Wow. Hang on one second. Those seats don't look original, but the console might be. I don't know. No, I don't think so. I think it's a custom-made console. Shoot. The console and bucket seats in these are hard to find. Ooh, the classic 70s LTD wagon. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a Mercury Montego. Complete with the wood grain. And it was originally, like I said, puke yellow with a wood grain. Ugh. Black 64 Galaxy. This was probably a really cool looking car when it was new. It's Galaxy 500. Looks like it got into a front end accident. Ow. Some Pontiacs. 55, 56 Pontiac sedans. Buick Century Coupe. That's an oddball model there. This one is. It's not a Skylark. It's a Century, which was kind of a almost same chassis. I don't know what it meant, but Pontiac Bonneville over there. 77, 78 Caprice Classic with the wraparound back window. Those are hard to find. That back window, I don't think they make anymore. Buick Riviera from the 70s. And I don't know what that was, but it looked like it flew off a cliff or wandered into a demo derby by accident. This is a 71 Riviera, 455s, like call outs. You remember what I said earlier about the vents on the trunk lid, the louvers on the trunk lid? 1 year only. And they did have a Grand Sport version of this, which had bucket seats and console, which is extremely rare and very expensive. And this one, I can't tell. There's so much crap in here. No, it's a bench seat. '80s square bodies. Look at this one here. Two-tone paint job. Chrome front pusher bar with fog lamps, and it's a short bed though. This is somebody's pride and joy. Yes, yes it was. Excuse me, I'm getting thirsty. I'm gonna have to stop and go get something to drink. Here's another. I get a Dodge Ram here with a teardrop hood scoop on it. Dodge Dakota. Some square body Jeep Cherokees from the square body era. I think those are 80s and early 90s. Dent side pickup truck with aftermarket buckets in it. Or not aftermarket, later model. A cab and a cab. There you go, more trucks. Ooh, look at a scallop paint job on that Dodge, huh? Oh, this is a rare Astro van, all-wheel drive. So this is a factory setup, and I believe they used the same transfer case as the S10 Cyclones and Typhoons. I'm pretty positive of that. This one's like a totally tricked out version. About the only reason why I'm interested in it. Chad does have a lot of 80s G-bodies out here. Buicks, Oldsmobiles, Pontiac. These are getting popular. They don't have the aftermarket support some of the earlier cars have. So he's been collecting them. I like that 75 Oldsmobile over there. But you can see he's got a few of here. I think he's got more in the yard in different places. He hasn't got them organized yet. And next to them is the land of cabs. Look at all these cabs. Cabs and more cabs and a few beds and more cabs. And some beds. Oh, look at this. This is a rare one. This is a Plymouth Trail Duster. Wow. With a front-mounted CB radio on time and off-road lights and running boards. Wow. This is wild. Bucket seat console. Check out the original seat covers on that one. Isn't that wild? Oh, it's got a tachometer screwed to the dash. And it has a roll bar in it. Not sure if that's factory. It looks factory to me. This was a pretty bronze color with probably a cream. Let's see if this bucket seat here has the same material in it. Yeah, it does. Look at that. Steve had the lid of the console got broke. Audio box, AM/FM cassette. There's an 80s. Wow, when was the last time you saw one of these? And it's not all rusted and clapped out. Wow, looks pretty straight too. A few dings here. A few hail dents on the hood. Oh my God. That thing is nice. That is a builder. Somebody should grab this. Somebody should grab this. That is definitely a builder. Here's an International Scout. This is an early one. This is where they started off, the little bitty ones. Not like the bigger one we showed you, the Scout Terra. Traveler earlier. I like the sheet metal screw, self-tapping screw patch there. A lot of these had either a 304 or half of a 304 and a slant 4-cylinder. Here's some more cabs. More cabs. And Triumph Spitfire. Okay. Yeah. I thought he did mostly domestics, but that's a yeah. Yeah. That's Italian. Yeah. No, wait a minute. Triumph. America, that's British. Lucas wiring. Probably why it's in a junkyard. What do you think? Astro van. And the only reason why I would be interested in an Astro van is one reason and one reason only. Let me see if I can get the hood open. Feels like it's with all the leaf springs and stuff in here. Wow. Some of these, and I think about a third of them, had hydro boost. Look at that. Now they had two versions of it. They had one that went straight out, and they have this one here that kind of angles down. The one thing that's really nice about these hydro boost is because they don't get wore out like they do in a 1-ton truck or an Eldorado that's four-wheel drive. They, my 65 Impala has one. And it's been in the car for 15 years and it works great. I got it out of a junkyard. Oh, look at this. 68 Ranchero. Parked next to his buddy, the Nash Metropolitan. Now, I know the Nash is an American car, but these were actually made in Britain. I forget who made them, but they have an MG motor in them. They're like 1.3 liter 4-cylinder engine you can practically pick up out of the car without an engine hoist. They're not very big engines. And 3-speed on the dashboard. It's not on the column, it's on the dashboard. Look at the radio controls. The first gear on these is not synchroed. The second and third are. How do I know? Because I've driven one. So we'll just continue wandering around here. How's that? Some soccer mom's Ford Explorer drove in here and died. There are some newer stuff here that he hasn't got rid of yet. I don't know why, but he hasn't. He's got a few things in here. For some reason, he'll tell you why if I ask him. Like this Dodge Charger. Oh yeah. Huh. That's a Scat Pack Hemi Charger. I don't know why it's sitting in here in the junkyard. It looks like it was just parked there, doesn't it? Oh, there's another Nash. And they're all little Continental kits. They don't really have a trunk. They have some storage behind the back seat, behind the front seat, because there's no back seat. That one looks like the tire blew up and flew off and took out the fender. That's black and white. There's two colors I see by far the most in a Nash Metropolitan. It's the turquoise and white and the red and white. You don't see very many black and white ones. Man, that one's banged up pretty good, but it's still got some good parts on it. Okay, you can call me a liar. There's some actually newer than 1995 vehicles in the yard. Yeah, call me a liar. Come on, get it out of the system. Tell me I said something that wasn't true. Come on, get it out, get it out, get it out. Okay, now we're through with that. The Chevrolet OBSs or GMT 400 era trucks are starting to get some love and being restored, so I imagine that's why Chad's got a few of them in here. This turquoise one down here, the early 90s. But this one has the hard to find bucket seat interior. Look at that. With really cool 6x9 speaker boxes. It's got the bucket seats and console in it, back seats in it. Most of the dash pieces are in it. It's missing the center part of the radio, which probably was a cassette deck. He probably had an aftermarket radio in it. And the center part. Probably took it with him when he sold the truck. But the passenger seat is showing some rip, but this driver's seat's in really nice shape. Yeah. Truck's not bad overall. As a matter of fact, it's got less rust than mine that I have at home, which generally just pisses me off. I mean, if you're a junkyard crawler and you go to a junkyard and you see a vehicle that you drive every day, like the one you drive every day, and it's in far better shape than the one you drive every day, doesn't that just irk you to no end? I mean, really. It's better color too, turquoise. That's a beautiful turquoise color. Polish that out. Mine's white. You know, like white. Boring fleet truck white. This is a two-wheel drive version. It's got the factory bed liner in it too. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What did you think of that junkyard? Is that amazing or what? I got to go back. I didn't even get all the way through the yard this time either. I was, oh my gosh, it's huge. And I need to go back and find some parts. So I'm gonna try to go back. It's January right now. It's cold. It's snowy. It'll probably be in the spring before the bugs and everything start and the weeds start growing up to be 6 feet tall and all that. But I need to go back. What do you guys think? Should we go back?